Hello, thank you for joining me for another video. Today we are going to do some flexion and extension of the spine, and the flexion will be in some bridging and the extension in some swan dive, and then we'll do a few other little moves in between. Start yourself off onto your back and we'll begin with our little bridging sequence. I'll do a small warm-up to start with. Hoping that will be enough for you, but if you feel it's not and your back's not feeling like it wants to be doing some moving, then please add your own warm-up or just do something else until you feel you're ready to start working. So on your back, bring those feet up, just slide them up so your heels are roughly in line with your sit bones, your pelvis neutral, your curved lumbar spine, thoracic spine, your ribs against the mat. I stretch through cervical spine, the chin dropping down, and then the arms next to you. Calm yourself down, breathe wide, and then slowly, as you breathe out, draw your pelvic floor up, squeeze it, release 2/3 as you breathe in, and then do that again. So you continue to get that scooping up and releasing. Keeping open in the chest. Now as you breathe out, add a tilt, a little bit of flexion in the spine so your cervical spine touches the mat. And then a little rock back to neutral spine and repeat. The out breath, the tilt towards you, and the in breath, the flattening back down. Lovely. So just a gentle movement in the spine. And then with your hands onto your tummy, start to let the right leg just drop a little bit out to the side. Stop as soon as your left hip lifts. Come back on the out breath. And then repeat with the other leg. The leg opens and then squeezes back up with really no movement anywhere else. It drops out. And then comes up. Lovely. Just the last one. Your hands will then drop back by your side and you'll start to extend the legs. Breathing in, the legs slide. You can add a little flex to the foot and then slide your foot back towards you. Then repeat with the other leg. Stretch it away, flex, and come back. And you know that as you add this length, you're not moving in your pelvis because you're stabilizing through those inner muscles, training them to work when you start to move. And then we'll add a lift with the opposite arm. I think I'm going to have to slide down my mat a little bit. And then we go opposite arm and leg, stretch and back. Don't feel the arm has to go all the way back to the ear, particularly to start with. You can hopefully feel the stretch getting greater as you do more, or maybe not. Don't force this, just go long and come back. And that should feel wonderful. Stretch. Should we do one more with each leg and arm? That foot can touch the floor or be slightly off. And back. And our last one. Brilliant. from there, pop your hands back down by your side, but flip them over. And then move your legs from side to side, looking one way, letting the legs drop the other, and then squeezing back up. Your legs don't touch each other, they remain slightly apart the whole time. You stretch away and squeeze up. Going the other way, drop over and come up. And then do one more both ways. Just letting it go. Kind of almost a twist all the way through the spine. And then we'll come back up. And we'll return to our leg slides, but with a slight change. This time, slide your leg out, and then instead of just sliding it straight back, lift it back to tabletop, and then put your foot on the floor. So you'll stretch again as you breathe in, and then as you start to work your core, you bring the leg to tabletop, and then put it down. Getting ready for our full bridge. Stretch up and down. A bit more of a challenge to your powerhouse as you lift that leg up. Any chance you can add a stretch of the arm at the same time? This bit's easy enough. The arm comes up and then it comes down. Difficult, isn't it? But just focus, concentrate, and see what you can do. Make sure you're still stretching fully and you're working that core fully. Yay! Stretch. Come on, one more. This is the last. And down. Lovely. Hands back on the tummy and straight into opening. This time both legs out and coming up. Keeping everything nice and still and flat in that tummy. Open and then coming up, close, open, close. One more, open and close. Hands back by your side, and we'll do a bit more bridge, this time all the way to the top. The tilt, and think of those beads. You lift the fastener, and then one by one the beads lift off of your mat into that straight line at the top. And then as you exhale, place the beads back down in sequence and back to neutral. Then you go again, and you've got to keep doing this a couple more. And then there's the option of adding some leg extensions at the top. Just working up and down. This is the last before we start with those leg extensions that come up. And then round back down. Lovely. Maybe you just want to have a little bit of a rock side to side before we work the spine a little bit harder with the leg extensions at the top. Just ask one more each way to ease through that back. Great. We come back into our bridging. Are you ready? Here we go. Tilt and lift, just slowly, bone by bone. And then once you get to your bridge, pop your hands underneath and then stretch one leg. Put it back, take away your hands and come down. And then we'll do that with the other leg. Rounding up. This is the spine flexing. Hold underneath. Stretch the leg. Put it back. Take away your hands. Come down. And then this time we add the leg extension. And we're doing this slowly, building it up, one leg at a time. If you don't want to add the leg extension, you could stay with the bridging, up and down, but if not, lift, up, back and down. Take away your hands and come down. Let's see if we can do that with the other leg, but without using the hands. So you'll tilt and lift. Stretch out the leg. Now if you're starting to drop, put your hands back underneath, lift, lower, foot goes back and you come down. And then our final challenge is to do both legs on the same bridge. Remember, you don't have to go all the way, you go to your level where you feel right today. But ultimately this is where we're trying to go. The bridge, one leg lifts and lowers, and then you change to the other leg without dropping your hips. Stretch, lift and lower, put the foot back and bring yourself down again into your mat. Alrighty, we're going to do 2 more full bridges if we can. If not, keep going with what you're doing, or take a rest, bringing the knees into the tummy. So we've done one leg and then we'll stretch. Take the other one up and down. And then bring the back down before we go into the last one. Remember, if you feel you've done enough, then you have, and you take a break. If not, a nice stretch. Take it up, take it down. Don't drop your bottom. Second leg stretch, up and down. Put the foot down. Bring your back down. Lovely. And then let one knee and then the other come up and circle your back. So after all that flexion, let's go into, that extension, let's go in, again in my flexes and my X's model that, we're going to go into extension. Now if you know you shouldn't do that, you're not going to, you can skip this bit, perhaps go over the other bit again, or just go straight to the end of the video. If not, if you're ready, you roll over onto your tummy. You could probably modify this on all fours if you don't like being on your tummy. I'll leave that to you to have a go. So, swan dive. So the legs are out, slightly wider than hips. The arms are out to the side, so you've got your hands about level with your head and your elbows level with your shoulders. Always think of this as being like a capital E on its side. Have your head down on the mat. Get that zip and hollow working. And now as you breathe in, feel the breath. Fill your spine from your tail up to the top of your head. And as you do that, stretch your spine. So as that breath stretches through your spine, you stretch. And you can lift your nose and then put face back down. So it's a very small extension to begin with. Stretching through, slight lift and down. Keep your hips and your pubic bone on the floor. hoping you'll start to feel this working through the lower back, lengthening all the vertebrae of the spine as you lift and then come down. Should we do one more and then we'll have a go at stretching the legs a little? Up and down. So the head back onto the mat. Then stretch your legs. And just lift them a little and then let them come down. So it's stretching. Just lift a little and then they come down. And then as you stretch, you could lift your nose and then come down. You could stretch and just lift the nose and then turn your head as you come down. Stretch, lift up and face the other way. One more turn of the head each way. Stretch. And again, up and down. Back to the upper body now. Nose in the middle. Again, start that lengthening of the spine. And then see if you can lift a bit further. So you're onto your forearms. And then you push down. Don't lift your head up. Keep looking down. Keep your neck long. If this is too much, go back to just lifting the nose. If you feel you've got more movement in the spine, you could come up further and go down. It's up and down. And then maybe the two together, up, and as you go down, lift of the legs, up, and down. Oh, you're working this to your level, of course, up and down, and do that once more, up and down. Make a big stretch, fingers to toes. Keep your hips on the floor and keep your hands and feet on the floor. Reach with your right arm, stretch back with your left leg, but do not move your hips. Keep your foot and your hand on the floor, keep your face down. Slowly back on your breath out, then breathe in and go the other way. One arm, the other leg, stretch. And then we come back. Try to stretch through those lumbar vertebra, where all this extension and flexion is coming from. Do that once more each way. Stretch. And then in your own time, turn back over onto your back. Oops, come off the mat. That won't do. So, back to our bridging to finish this little video. So the same setup as before. Make sure we've got some arm room this time. Yes, we have. Arms start beside you. And we begin with a basic bridge to get us going again. Tilt, come up through your spine, keep those legs parallel. Imagine you holding a cushion in your knees, drawing yourself up, and then smoothly come down. And then if you can, next time I want you to hold the bridge. If you'd rather, continue up and down. Here we go. Tip, engage the core, lift the spine, and we'll hold the bridge up. So imagine the cushion in the legs, the hips are strong, the glutes are working. You're going to lift your hands and then split them back and back. Stretching. And then holding strong in that middle. And then leave the arms by your side and lower your bottom down. Just tap and squeeze your glutes and push up. Drop down and squeeze up. Lovely, lovely. Do that again. Drop down and push up. For one more. Down and up. And then bring your spine back down. And to do a couple more variations of bridges before we finish. For the first one, cross your right leg over your left. You may want to bring the left foot slightly in. Cross the right foot over. Tilt the pelvis and see if you can now again lift into your bridge. You could cross the leg further over. No, keep it there. If it's awkward, please don't do this. Do your regular bridge. But if you can, legs across, making it a little bit harder on your left leg. Up and then down. Just once more before we switch sides. Tilt up. And down. Uncross, you know what comes next. Left over right. And we try again. This feels a little bit easier for me. I wonder how you're feeling. Up and down. 2 to go. You're still trying to round the spine. Up and down. Yeah, down. And one more. Moving on, bring your legs back in. Moment. Let's rock side to side. And now our last bridge. For this next one, have your feet together, arms by your side, and then tilt and come up from here. And keep your knees together. Again, if this feels horrible, let your feet go a little bit wider. Up and down. Lovely. So we've got a couple more to do like this. I'm going to make it super easy by taking the legs wider. Up and down. As you do this last one with the legs together, think of those beads again. Try and lift each bead, lift each vertebra individually. Up. And then lay them back down in turn. Well done. Neutral spine. Take your feet apart, your heels, and then your toes. And now go from here, your feet slightly wider than normal. And I'm hoping that will feel nice and relatively easy compared to what you were doing. And again, there will be 2 more to do. Maybe you could bring the hands across the chest. Still get that flow through your spine, up and down. And our very last one. Up we come. And down. Amazing. Let your feet come back in, your legs back together, spread your arms, and before you stand up, do a little bit of stretching from side to side, that twisting and lifting and repeating. Make one more each way. Of course, you can carry on if you want to. The video will be finishing, but you don't need to. Over we go. And then onto the side. And you're going to stand up very slowly. I'm not, because I'm going to come forward and switch off my machine. Thank you very, very much. See you again soon. Bye.